breathe a little. Let it go, breathe a little. Just let it breathe a little. Stop and just let it breathe a little. Let it.
I'm going to be showing you my hero deck. I run this for tourneys, and I've been working on this for quite a while. So first thing we're going to be looking at, I'm running 2 Elemental Hero Ice Edge. This thing with this card is it's great because it can, if it attacks your opponent's life points directly, which it can by removing a card from your hand, you can destroy one of your opponent's back set cards. So I mean, right there, 800 points of damage plus you're destroying one of the traps or spells. We're looking at 2 King of the Swamps. King of the Swamps great because not only can you sacrifice it from your hand to get a polymerization, but you can also substitute it for a fusion card, for any other fusion material card, which is great for this deck. Standard Elemental Hero Avian, Elemental Hero Ocean. Ocean's great because its ability allows you to get an Elemental Hero from the field or your graveyard back to your hand. If you use this right with Stratos and Gravity Bind, you can really get any hero you want and mess with your opponent badly. Elemental Hero Burstinatrix, classic. Elemental Hero Sparkman, also classic. Elemental Hero Voltic. Voltic's great because whenever he deals damage to your opponent's life points, you're allowed to special summon an Elemental Hero from out of play. You can literally swamp the field pretty quick with that. Elemental Hero Heat. Heat's great because he gains 200 attack points for every Elemental Hero in the field, including himself. Elemental Hero Stratos. Stratos is a very key card for this deck because not only does Stratos allow you to search your deck for another Elemental Hero card, but when he's summoned, for every Elemental Hero besides him you have out on the field, you can destroy one of your opponent's spell and trap cards. Elemental Hero Woodsman. Woodsman's great because for every standby phase that he's on the field, you get a polymerization from your hand, and he's got pretty decent attack points. Elemental Hero Clayman. Clayman, once again, classic. Elemental Hero Prisma. Prisma's great because it allows you to take an Elemental Hero from your graveyard, put it to the from your deck to your graveyard, and he becomes that card name-wise. This is great because if, say, for instance, you've got a Miracle Fusion in your hand first turn but no poly, if you play him, get any hero from your deck to your grave, you can automatically play that Miracle Fusion right there, first turn summon. Elemental Hero Neos Elias. He's great just because of attacking. He's a light monster. Elemental Hero Blade Edge. Blade Edge is great because you can use him for a fusion material monster. Also, his attack and his effect come out pretty handy. Elemental Hero Wild Edge. Wild Edge is great because he is not affected by traps of any kind, so you don't have to worry about bottomless or anything like that. Elemental Hero Neos. Neos goes great with Voltic or anything else I was talking about earlier. Then we're getting onto the spell cards. You're going to need 3. I run 3, and I suggest 3 Miracle Fusions. Miracle Fusion is great because later on in the game, quite a few of your Elemental Heroes are going to be in the graveyard. Also, with the strategy I talked about with Elemental Hero Prisma, it allows you a first turn summon. It goes great if you play a Poly and then a Miracle Fusion because right there, 2 monsters on the field. Of course, I'm running 2 Polys. You're probably wondering why not 3. Well, I found out that Miracle Fusions are a lot more useful than Polys because Polys, the cards have to be on the field or in your hand. Miracle Fusion, they have just to be on the field or the graveyard. And chances are they're going to be in the graveyard. I'm running 3 emergency calls. These are great cards because you need these to find your Elemental Heroes. You can use it in a tight spot, really get your cards out. If you use them with that Stratos, there's 2 monsters. Gold Sarcophagus, another search card, really great. Oversoul, I use this in conjunction with my Neos. So if I use Prisma and then use this, I get Neos to my field. Parallel World Fusion. Now this card, I just got this one. It's actually really great. If you can use this card to take Elemental Heroes out of play, return them to your deck, and you get a fusion card out of that. This is great 3-hit combo is to use Polymerization, Miracle Fusion, and then Parallel World Fusion because that's 3 monsters you get onto your field plus those 2 come back. You need Monster Reborn. You gotta have one. Reinforcements of the Army, another great search card. Fusion Recovery. Fusion Recovery is great because it allows you, if you say use Polymerization, you fuse a monster, you can use Fusion Recovery, you get that Polymerization back, and you get one of the Fusion Material monsters back. Mystical Space. Mask Change, I use for Goka. It's a quick play card, so it can come in real handy in a tight situation. Future Fusion. Future Fusion is great because it allows me to not really get the fusion monster out, because I'm not going to lie, it's going to get killed pretty quickly. But what it does great is it gets my cards to my graveyard where I can use my Miracle Fusion. Super Poly. Super Poly is one of the biggest forget you cards out there, because not only is it a quick play card, but it cannot be stopped. Once you've used that card, even say they've got a Stardust Dragon out there, if you use Super Poly, they cannot stop it with Stardust Effect. Heavy Storm. Heavy Storm's great because it wipes out your opponent's field and yours if you play it right. Gravity Bind. I use Gravity Bind. A lot of people my friends hate this card because it's the biggest stall card out there, but it can come in real handy if you need to buy time. Or say you've got Ice Edge out. If you got this out in Ice Edge is only a level 3, which means you get to attack your opponent's life points directly over and over again and wipe out their set cards. Mirror Force is a huge game changer card. 7 Tools of the Bandit, great, because I'm not going to lie, quite a few traps are going to be set off by your fusion cards. People are want to get rid of them. I'm running 2 Bottomless Trap Holes. A Michizuru card. Not a lot of people use Michizuru. I like it for the fact that if a card's destroyed, then you get to destroy another card. This is great. Say your opponent destroys one of your monsters, you get to destroy one of theirs, or for some reason you destroy one of yours, you get to destroy one of theirs. You know, it's just whatever. Compulsory Device. This is great against Synchro monsters. Hero Blast. Hero Blast is great because it allows you to get not only get an elemental hero from your grave to your hand, but you get to destroy one of your opponent's monsters that have an attack equal to or less than that hero's. Now we're going to get on to the best part of this deck, the extra cards. So to start us off, I'm running 2 Elemental Hero Absolute Zeros. Zeros are your nuke cards. Normally a card will say whenever a card is sent from the field to the graveyard or out of play. This card is when it's gone from the field, which means if you successfully summon this thing, no matter how they get rid of it, your opponent's field is wiped. I'm running 2 Gaias. Gaia's great because he's easy to get out. Also, his effect is you target one of your opponent's monsters, their attack is cut in half, and he gains those attack points. So say your opponent's got like their strongest card out there, you play him, half of their attack is gone, and he can just wipe him out. This is a newer one for me. Elemental Hero Great Tornado. Great Tornado is great because he's got not only 2,800 attack points, but when he's summoned, all of your opponent's face-up monsters lose half of their attack and defense points. Masked Hero Goka. Goka's great because I use Mask Change for him. You can get him out pretty quickly. His attack is increased by 100, and he's just a great card to have out. Elemental Hero Nova Master. Nova Master is pretty boss because whenever you destroy one of your opponent's monsters, you get to draw a card, also running at 2,600 attack points. Elemental Hero Thunder Giant. He's kind of classic and vintage, but I love his effect in a tight situation because you're going to run against, say, Ice Barrier cards that make it where you can't attack. This is a great way of wiping them out. Elemental Hero Shining, a personal favorite. He gains 300 attack points for every Elemental Hero that's out of play. Plus, whenever he's destroyed, you get to choose 2 Elemental Heroes that are out of play and return them to your hand. Terra Firma. Terra Firma is awesome because his ability allows you to sacrifice an Elemental Hero on your hand, on your field, and he gains that attack points. That's great if you got an Absolute Zero out there. Say you've got him and an Absolute Zero. You sacrifice the Absolute Zero. He gains 2,500 attack points, making his attack 5,000, and your opponent's field is wiped clean. Elemental Hero Flare, Shining Flare Wingman. He's just a great card, vintage card. I don't get to use him very often, but you can in this deck, which is awesome. Another vintage Elemental Hero. Wildheart. Wildheart is awesome because not only he can attack all of your opponent's monsters, it's a great field clear. Last but certainly not least, I've used this card in OTKs, FTKs, and any way you want to mess over your opponent. Vision Hero Trinity. Trinity is awesome simply for the fact that he requires only 3 hero cards. That can be any 3 hero cards. When he's summoned, his attack points are doubled, making him with a grand total of 5,000 attack points. And just because that's not enough, he gets to attack 3 times. Now he can't attack your opponent's life points directly, but if your opponent's got some of his best monsters out there, you bring this out and you're going to hit him for some serious damage.